Welcome back, everybody, to episode 33 of the ForbiddenCast, the talk show podcast thing that I do that I talk about guitars, and I talk about my own personal life, and I talk about other lame stuff, and occasionally have guests on here. Thanks for watching, and that'll be it for today. No, but I do feel like today's episode is going to be quite short. Because I procrastinated way too much on this episode this week, that I waited way too long to record this episode, and it's quite late at night, and I need to be heading off to bed soon so I can wake up early enough so I can function during the day. I also would like to apologize, as it's still been extremely warm through the entire planet right now. I feel like everywhere's kind of gotten a nasty heat wave going on in the Americas and just all over the place. It's not very fun right now. It's really sweaty, it's really hot, it's really drippy. Not a good time. At least I don't think so anyways. I don't like this weather at all. I do have a fan going on in the background, which I'm sure you're able to hear. Especially for if there's people listening to this with headphones or earphones. So apologies for that. Hopefully it'll be just this one episode, and then going forward, hopefully over time it'll start cooling down. Because goodness, am I ever sick of this heat, and I'm sure a lot of other people can agree. But it should. Usually it typically does around the fall time. And fall is just right around the corner, not too far away. I mean, fall happens in September, right? I'm not crazy. That's whenever fall kicks around, and then it's here for a couple of months, and then it's winter time as soon as it hits December. Pretty sure that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, really hot. But in other news, one cool thing that has happened recently is Gibson Icons, Gibson, the guitar company, that is all too known. I said that wrong. That doesn't matter. I think you know what I mean by that. But Gibson, classic, Les Paul, SG, Explorer, V, great sounding guitars, great playing guitars, typically really heavy, typically don't stay in tune very good, and extremely expensive. Can't bash Gibson too much though, because they do make some really cool guitars, and they do have some pretty cool artists. And speaking of that, which I just mentioned, Icons is a little program, like a little kind of show interview thing that they have where they interview their artists who are signed in collaboration with Gibson. And they've had an episode on Tony Iommi. They've had an episode on Kirk Hammett. They had quite a few artists already, but one of the most recent ones is Mr. Dave Mustaine. Love him or hate him, he's quite the legend with quite the story. My goodness, and he is a hero of mine. Well, I mean, guitar wise, anyways. He's very influential on me. He plays a big part in my songwriting, and both my songwriting, my guitar playing, and my lead playing definitely. Yeah, he writes some good stuff. He writes some good riffs. He writes some good lyrics. He writes just a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, I recently watched that, and it's really good. It's Dave Mustaine, so there's a lot of I'm great. Everybody learned from me, and I taught everybody everything. There's a lot of that going on because it is Dave Mustaine, but whatever. I think it's awesome whenever he does stuff like that. I mean, obviously it's like, okay, Dave, you're kind of full of yourself, but at the same time too, it's like, he's not 100% wrong with saying statements like that. Like he just kind of does know. And it is funny because he does call himself out on it too a couple of times when he's just like, I'm going to sound like a, I'm going to sound like a total dick saying this, but like, you know, myself, James Hetfield, and Malcolm Young are probably amongst the greatest rhythm guitar players uh, in rock and metal. Like he's like that's like pretty much a direct quote from what he says in this show. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I do love Dave Mustaine. I feel like a lot of people don't like Dave Mustaine because of how much ego he does have. Um, but I don't know. He I don't know. He for some there's something about his backstory and everything like that, and just the connection I do have with Megadeth and everything like that, especially with my teenage years. I have a very he's just like that asshole friend that like he's a dick, and you find it in your heart to forgive him, um, and yeah, you just that's just how I feel about Dave Mustaine. um, but yeah, if you do like Megadeth, if you do like Megadeth's music and everything like that, like it's I would definitely go take a listen to that. Um, and Megadeth actually just started their tour right now. The Megadeth is finally back on tour, playing live shows again, which is really really cool. And they have James Lomenzo, I believe his last name is James Lomenzo. I think that's right. James Lomenzo was the bass player on a few Megadeth records, I believe on Endgame. What's the one before that? United Abominations. I think it was James Lomenzo on that one. Basically, whenever David Ellefson was originally not in the band, after he tried to sue Dave Mustaine for kind of disbanding all of Megadeth whenever Dave Mustaine lost all feeling in his arm there, whenever he was in rehab. I mean, if you watch the Icons video or anything about Dave Mustaine, you'll probably know the story. But a quick little rundown. Dave Mustaine at one point had relapsed on, I think it was just some sort of pharmaceutical, and yeah, he was like, okay, I'm gonna put myself back into rehab for like the 30th time because I want to be able to finally kick this thing. And then I think they had like an not AA meeting, but like they had some like that kind of circle therapy session, sharing stories and whatever, kind of talk about like, oh, I've done this many times or whatever. I think it was that, and then like after that, Dave Mustaine just kind of hung around after everybody left, and he fell asleep in the chair. And then his one arm, I guess, was like leaning over the back of the chair, and then his arm fell asleep, and then pinched a nerve. And then Dave Mustaine woke up, and like he just had no feeling in his arm at all. And then he started freaking out because he was just like, okay, I think whatever, this is kind of funny, like my arm's completely limp. And then all of a sudden, like, it's just like the feeling wasn't coming back at all. Like he wasn't able to move his hand or anything, do any articulation at all. And then he like panicked and freaked out. And then the doctor that he went to go see, who was like, oh no, like you probably won't be able to play guitar ever again. And it was just like, what do you mean? And yeah, but Dave Mustaine tells the story way better, obviously. But yeah, so at that point too, like Dave Mustaine was thinking about calling it quits on music altogether because he didn't know if he's going to be able to play again or whatever. So, and he didn't want Megadeth is Dave Mustaine's baby, so it totally makes sense how he just wouldn't want it to continue without him, because that's in his words, it's his bread and butter. So he called it quits, and then David Ellefson like freaked out on him. I think I mentioned this in an earlier episode, but like, yeah, he freaked out on him and was like, I'm gonna sue you or whatever. you can't just disband the band. Like there's other people's lives at stake or whatever. And yeah, and then the whole lawsuit thing happened, and then Dave Mustaine was like, all right, well, fuck you, you're out of the band, or I'm not dealing with this shit. I got my arm to deal with and try to soothe back to health and everything like that. So yeah, I'm not dealing with your nonsense. And then they didn't talk for quite a bit, and then eventually they kind of, reconciled or whatever. And then the whole diddling his bingle happened, and Dave Mustaine was like, all right, you're done. So yeah. I don't even know where I was going with all that. But yeah, I don't know. Dave Mustaine, like, I guess the thing that I'm trying to say is Dave Mustaine has gone through quite a bit, and I can't, even though he is kind of a dick and an asshole, I can't help but love him because he's just, the music that he writes is so amazing. And just, yeah, I don't know. I can't help but feel. I don't want to say sorry for him because I don't feel like that is the right word to use, but like, I feel like I don't know. I have like a deeper connection with him, knowing how much like personal information he has shared with the world, with in interviews and everything like that. So I just can't help but feel like, yeah, Dave's, yes, he is an asshole and he's pretty full of himself. Like he's still a person and he still does good things, and I'm sure he still means well. Obviously, he found someone to reproduce with twice, so he can't be that bad. And they're still together and everything, so yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, good for him. That too. Like Dave Mustaine had throat cancer, which, goodness, like Dave Mustaine's also a vocalist. Like his voice or not, like he still sings and everything like that. So like they're on tour right now, and he's singing. So yeah, there's a couple of videos up on YouTube already, just from like camera footage of like them playing, and like he doesn't sound too bad. Like you can tell he's starting to sound pretty tired, but at the same time, like the man's almost 60 years old. Like, listen to old Megadeth. Listen to the first few albums. Like, imagine being 60-year-old trying to pull that off with like how much he used to drink and smoke, and not even just smoke cigarettes, but like how much fumes he's inhaled from heroin and God knows what else that he's ingested into his body. But like all of that, and then like all of the traumas that his body has faced, between like his arm and then having to deal with throat surgery and everything like that, and from cancer, and there was something else at one point. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he had to get like a plate in the back of his skull or something like that, or the back of his neck or something like that, because he had like I can't remember exactly, but there was something else that was wrong with him that he had to do like a pretty major surgery on. So it's like he's gone through all that, and then there's also like all the personal traumas that he's had to face with, between his very young life where his parents got divorced, and then like his dad was kind of a scary dude and would chase his family around trying to find them all the time, and then probably trying to hurt them and everything like that, and then having to move away all the time, and then him just kind of going on his own as a teenager, doing his own things, being kicked out of school and everything like that constantly, and then yeah, like the guy's seen some shit. He's not yeah, yeah, even that too. Like the whole Metallica thing. Like, yeah, obviously it's like you hear it. That's Dave Mustaine's biggest thing. Oh, he got kicked out of Metallica, and that's that. Like whatever, he went and made Megadeth, but it's like, that would be kind of shitty. And like that's the thing too they mentioned in the Icons thing. That's like pretty cool. It's like, Metallica, after they kicked him out, they could have quit making music altogether and started making Twinkies or something like that, and like Dave Mustaine would still be jealous, because it's not so much the fact that like he got kicked out, and they used his songs, and then they went and made millions and everything like that. But it's also the fact too that's like, you know, Dave Mustaine had a pretty rough upbringing, you know, and he didn't really have anything to actually make him feel accomplished or feel good about himself and feel valued or anything like that. So it's like once he did start working with Metallica and hanging out with those guys, for him it felt like he found himself a home and like brothers and everything like that. So it's like it was more or less like it was just like a sadness thing too, where it's like, yeah, obviously he's pissed because they did use his songs and all of that, and that's just kind of a natural feeling of say don't use my songs to your old bandmates, and then you hear them playing those songs and them becoming very popular and everything like that, and they're them taking all the credit for it. Well, I mean, even that too, like they're in the sleeve underneath the lyrics, like Dave Mustaine's name is there, on the first album, even on the second album. There's 2 songs that he gets song credits for, um, but yeah, so it's like it's just mostly that, like like he didn't have that family dynamic, and being with Metallica and everything like that. Like I think Dave Mustaine would have been 19 or early 20s, anyways, late teens, early 20s, whenever he joined Metallica. So it's like, again, at that point there, he was mostly just completely on his own, relying on himself, selling drugs and everything like that, like just trying to get by. And then he finds these guys that he can rely on and hang out with and have a good time with and talk about shit with, and he can kind of relate with and everything like that, and actually feel something, because the music that they write together, people love it, and it turned into this just giant thing that, like, it just made him feel like he had a purpose, which is like, yeah, having that stripped away from you is pretty it's pretty intense. um, yeah, pretty wild to think about, but I don't know. Again, people must be sick of hearing the whole Dave Mustaine Metallica story, but it's just like, I think the way it was portrayed in the Icons, the Gibson Icons little show there, that I highly, highly recommend checking out. Not even just the Dave Mustaine one, but go check out the Kirk Hammett one. I actually haven't watched that one yet. I'm going to watch that one next. But also the Tony Iommi and the other artists on there, because it's pretty cool. I know the Tony Iommi one is pretty cool as well. Listening to that one, but yeah, definitely go check that out. I think it's definitely worth the watch. Yeah, cool. 18 minutes of talking about Dave Mustaine. Jesus, is there anything else that I wanted to mention in this episode? I feel like I didn't mention it in the beginning, but I'm going to try. No, I think I got sidetracked, but it's going to be a bit of a shorter one. Shorter episode for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make it too short, but shoot, I think I'm gonna go to the song of the week already. I think I am all freaking ready. But today's song for this week that I recommend everybody go taking a listen to is from a little band called Styx, spelled Styx, as in like the river Styx in hell. Off of their 1975 album Equinox, which is spelled Equinox. Really cool, really cool album name. Just really cool word. What is Equinox? I don't even know what that means. You know what? We're going to find out together. Let's open up Google, doing some research right now. Before I get into the actual song, let's stretch this episode out a little bit longer. I feel like it's a little too short. Great, okay. Equinox. No. Oh, why do I have a... Equinox. What does equinox mean? Definition, please. Equinox. The time or date twice each year at which the sun crosses the celestial equator. Ooh. When day and night are of approximately equal length. Huh. Oh, what do you mean, which is the correct points of the celestial sphere? Huh, okay. Neat. Oh, it's equinox. It's pronounced equinox, not equinox. My bad. Oopsies. Anyways, off of that album, I think it's the final song actually on the album, but the song "Sweet Madame Blue." This is a 6 minute and 31 seconds length song. I'm not too sure what the song is actually entirely about, but there's a lot of Americas being said. Sweet Madame Blue, gaze in your looking glass, you're not a child anymore. Let me read you the lyrics because I really do. Everything in this song. It's just such a great kind of. It's a good. It's like the perfect template for a power ballad. Because that's exactly what it is. The song right before this is a very short, little minute-long song, little prelude called Prelude 12. It's just like a really nice 12-string kind of song before it goes into the first B minor of Sweet Madame Blue. So, yeah, let's read the lyrics to this. And imagine this very first section here over a nice... hold on. I might get flagged for this. I don't know if I will, but here, I'll play you what the intro sounds like a little bit. Because I learned it from my dad. I know this song from my dad. And that's why I'm recommending this song, because I was missing my dad the other day. And I went and downloaded this song onto my phone. And I was just like, yeah, I've loved to hear my dad sing and play the song and listen to the song with my dad and car rides and stuff like that. And like... very true, hold it very true to my heart and reminds me of my dad. So that's really cool. It's a nice little sweet thing for you. Here, let me get my guitar. Hold on, just give me 1 second. Oh no, I hit the pop filter. Pop filter on my microphone. There we go. Alright, here we go. Got the good old acoustic. Let's see if it's in tune. Good enough. Okay, here we go. So, starts off in B minor. Sounds like this. Might be a little out of tune, and I'm also not in E standard, I don't think. I think I'm in D standard right now, but yeah, so imagine that's being played, and then these lyrics come in over the top. Time after time, I sit and I wait for your call. I know I'm a fool, but what can I say? Whatever the price, I'll pay. For you, Madame Blue. Once, long ago, a word from your lips, and the world turned around. But somehow you've changed. You're so far away, I long for the past, and dream of the days with you. Madame Blue. Sweet Madame Blue, gaze in your looking glass. You're not a child anymore. Sweet Madame Blue, the future is all but past. Dressed in your jewels, you made your own rules. You conquered the world and more. Heaven's door. And then they just chant America. How many times is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times it chants America. Here's the last part. Red, white, and blue. Gaze in your looking glass. You're not a child anymore. Red, white, and blue. The future's all but past. So lift up your heart, make a new start, and lead us away from here. And that's it. That's it. That's the whole lyrics to, from what I feel, this is what I perceive these lyrics as being, as like a perspective kind of look at it, as in like talking about how the first part here is like talking about how America, you know, wanted to become its own thing once it left the UK and everything like that, especially with the line, where is it? You're not a child anymore, sweet Madam Blue. The future's all but past. Dressed in your jewels, you made your own rules. You conquered the world and more. I mean, even that too, like that part there, I feel like it's kind of like, I don't really know how to explain how I feel about that lyric. You conquered the world and more, heaven's door. I don't know. I don't know. They're really nice lyrics to go over top of that B minor. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really great song that I really hope that people go take a listen to. If you aren't a Styx fan, because I mean, if you don't really know who Styx is, they're the Domo Mino Gato Mister Robato, that same band. Strange to think about, but yeah. I mean, Styx has a bunch of really cool proggy kind of albums, especially their earlier ones. Like, they're really out there and cool. A lot of synth, a lot of really cool guitar riffs, a lot of cool guitar leads, tons of great solos from the guitar players in Styx, and amazing vocals and lyrics and everything like that. So, I mean, they're just one of those really great 70s bands that I don't feel like get talked about too much in recent years, but I think they're great. I've been enjoying Styx quite a bit lately. Been kind of going on another kick of 70s prog rock and rock music lately, so that would make sense why I'm super into that. I think I've been kind of missing home too a little bit. I mean, I got to go see my parents whenever I went up to go record the drums for Celestial Quest 2, but I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. I feel like my time there was kind of too short. I wish I got to be able to spend more time and do some more stuff, but yeah, I don't know. That's how life goes. You gotta make money. You gotta spend money to make money, and then get nowhere in life, and always go paycheck to paycheck, and put money aside, and then spend it all in one shot, and then restart, and just keep going until you have enough money to retire, and then you retire, and then you die. So that's yeah, cool. As a famous quote from Mr. Squidward Tentacles. Hold on, let me Squidward. What is it called? Shit. Quote. Shit, I want to find Squidward. There's a very specific Squidward quote that I want to reference to, but I can't remember what exactly it is. Shoot. I can't find it. No, come on. Seriously? It should be so easy to find. What's this one? Why must every 11 minutes of my life be filled with misery? That's good. Good old Squidward. Dang. There's just one episode where it's like he's talking to SpongeBob. He's like, listen, this is how it works. I take the order, I give you the order, you make the food, then you give me the food. We do that for about 40 years, and then we die. I said, does that sound good to you? Because that sounds good to me. All right. You know, like that's exactly something along those lines. It's just, I don't know. It's just really funny. Is it not here? Oh yeah, I order the food. You cook the food. The customer gets the food. We do that for 40 years, and then we die. I love Squidward. It's so funny. You're just, I don't know. Squidward was always funny to me, even even as a kid. There was just something so like narcissistic about him that was just always great. Oh, look at that. It's not even going to be a short episode. Great. Cool. Anyways, everybody, I'm going to leave it with that. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we will, it's just me today. I will see you all in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And, yeah, go check out that song. Go check out that Gibson Icons Dave Mustaine video, or whichever one you feel like checking out. If you don't like Dave Mustaine, that's cool. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, everybody, have yourself a good one. Peace.